Hey, welcome to my technical demo for GovAssist. I built a virtual assistant for exploring government aid programs. And I think it's actually a lot more exciting than it sounds. So if you want to skip straight to the demo, it'll be about T-2 from the end of this video. But I did want to provide a little bit of background. First, I just gave some snippets on what the government website is like for anyone who doesn't know. Basically, it just has loads of information, loads of bureaucracy. It's kind of what you expect. The thing that really tipped me into wanting to make this project was seeing that earlier this year, actually in January this year, the government tried to launch a GPT-style search, basically LLM-powered search, onto the government website to help its users use it. But it wasn't able to. It didn't pass the tests because of hallucinations, and it's just too unreliable, even using RAG. And that's, I think, really summarizing a fundamental, really interesting problem, at least in my opinion, which is that LLMs are in many ways, in terms of benefiting the public and having an impact and stuff, they're really limited by the fact that there's this black box and we can't really hold it accountable. So for more traditional systems like healthcare, government, probably law, you struggle a bit to implement this awesome new technology because it just has these fundamental things that we can't really trace with full confidence. And that's what I'm looking to tackle with this project. And I actually think it worked pretty well. So my tested answer to this was to build a knowledge graph containing all of the information from the government website. A knowledge graph is like an old-fashioned sort of logic thing. It's got loads of cipher queries, and essentially it's hard-coded logic. So it's completely accountable. If the knowledge graph comes up with something, you can trace it back. It's basically like pure, easy to understand reasoning. And the reason I'm emphasizing that is because it's the nature of the knowledge graph that allows us to get rid of that hallucination issue that we have. So my solution, GovAssist, has this set up. The user asks a question. The LLM then decides, how do I get that question into the knowledge graph? Now, this isn't a space where the LLM can do that much hallucinating because it has a very simple job, which is to take a sentence and put it into a function with parameters. The knowledge graph is then in charge of giving the very important information, which is about the benefits and so on. And it will then spit that back out to the LLM, which has to format it into something that the user can read. But just in case the LLM were to sort of freestyle at that point, there is also a policing agent, all of these powered by Llama, to ensure that the LLM's final output matches the exact content given by the knowledge graph. And finally, we have Llama Guard in place because it's just what's appropriate for this type of use case. But what's cool about all this is that we're basically sort of combining LLMs and all of their superpowers and the fact that they can do dynamic queries and cipher and stuff with the very reliable, old-fashioned, sort of traceable, transparent reasoning of the knowledge graph. And together we're getting rid of that issue of hallucination, and we're setting up a system that I think would really suit the government and probably like NHS use cases and things. So enough of all this. Sorry, here's a demo, and for the next 2 minutes I can show demos. I won't talk through all of them, but this one, just quickly, I put the knowledge graph on the right-hand side, not because I thought the public would be interested in that, but because coming at it from a hackathon perspective, I think it's nice to see the exact function and the tool that came into place to decide the content that was being shown on screen. This second one is longer, and the reason why I wanted to put two demos is because where the first one was a bit more informal, this second one has a user that knows more about what they want. And the result was really interesting. The user giving more information meant that the query was more specific. So in turn, it came back with a more specific answer. And knowledge graphs they're not usually the type of thing that match energy. So I thought this was a really cool little demo where it kind of just works out. And the user wants more specific detail, and the knowledge graph gives it to them. And of course, it's sort of super reliable detail, straight out of the government website, and like reliable in that sense that we can just totally trace it, and we don't need to be worrying about whether it's been hallucinated or not. I'm back. That concludes this demo. Thanks for watching. These are just two little bits on the appendix just showing what the other parts of the code look like.